Shohei Ohtani will sign soon.
The fact that he's signing this quick, it's crazy.
In today's video, we will cover Ohtani, the Juan Soto trade, as well as the NBA in-season tournament.
Shout out Giannis, he's like, what, we get money out of this? Damn, the rich get richer.
We discuss our NFL MVP favorite. Tyreek Hill is number 1, CMC is number 2, Dak Prescott's number 3, and react to Christian Sinclair's last game.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Beat Here podcast.
Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Make sure you guys follow all our socials linked down below. And for the audio listeners, make sure you guys download it, rate it, and review it as well. Without a further ado, let's just get right into it.
Shohei
Ohtani, we'll get to start off with that because that's the bigger name. I'm sorry, Juan Soto, you just got traded right as soon as we hit record. But we'll talk about you in a second because that Japanese superstar is the biggest free agent name since, I believe, LeBron James left Cleveland the first time.
Biggest free agent name ever.
I'm still putting in the same
you
level.
can still obviously say LeBron's in there, but like someone, I think this is like just more outrageous.
And okay,
man could bat and pitch at the same time, but the MLB floodgates have opened.
Yeah, because I think they're having the winter meetings right now.
Yeah.
I forget where they are. But yeah, let's start off with the Shohei Ohtani. The report coming out is he's expected to decide on a team before the end of this weekend. And here's the thing, right? The finalists at one point were the Angels, the Dodgers, the Jays, the Cubs, and Texas. And Texas fell out. I think the Cubs are now falling out to the point where it's LA, Dodgers, and the Blue Jays. And I'll get to the Blue Jays side of things for a second because I'm still not fully trusting it that he will be a Jay by the end of this, whenever season starts. But yeah, the fact that he's signing this quick, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because George Springer signed in like January, but Trevor Bauer signed in like February.
But how much is like he's the big dog? They're just waiting for...
Yeah,
the other people are just waiting for him to get signed. Like a bulk of the other players, because like Snell hasn't signed.
I don't.
Bellinger hasn't signed.
Not really. I don't. He's a big dog. Normally, the big dog goes last, and it's a risk on the teams. Like we've seen it in the NBA. It's like a risk on the Lakers for waiting on like Kawhi that year, and then he ended up choosing the Clippers, and he had to quickly go to Plan B, which was Danny Green for them at that time, right? The big dog doesn't sign first unless it's like multiple of them. Shohei Ohtani ain't on the level of anybody in the MLB right now. The only guy you could say that could be a good consolation prize just got traded in Juan Soto. There's no free agency that doesn't matter. The Jays, listen, Shohei Ohtani is going to be a DH this year.
There's no hitting free agent that's going to help you tremendously.
What I'm saying is, outside of the money, he's going to be a DH all year because of the injury, right? So he ain't going to be playing first base. Whatever team gets him, he's playing DH literally 162 games.
Which honestly might be like...
most likely 162 games.
It honestly might be better for him because he finally gets a little break.
No, for sure.
Yes, obviously, granted, he is injured.
How much did we talk about on Sunday or Monday?
No, we just talked
about... Did we talk about any leaks or anything? No, right?
We talked about like how, a decision will be happening. How,
So we didn't mention the leaks. I'm just forgetting. The leaks we mentioned yesterday and Monday night. Because we recorded Sunday night. Yeah, so we got to get into the leak story first. So the two finalists, betting favorites, are the Toronto Blue Jays, which is weird to say, and the Los Angeles Dodgers, which I believe where he will end up going. Now, the first leak was that the Blue Jays have interviewed him already. And the reason why this leak was big was because Ross Atkins was supposed to do an interview at the or a press conference at the winter meetings, but he was on a plane and did a Zoom on the plane. And reports somehow came out by Ken Rosenthal that Ohtani is in Dunedin in South Florida, where Blue Jays facilities are, and met with the Jays already. That report comes out Monday. Of course, you brought it to my attention that that's not good news because leaks, and he ain't gonna leak. And I remember him saying something like that, so I completely forgot about that.
You remember him saying in Japanese?
Well, I remember a report about him saying that.
So no leaks. Then I look at the comments. They're like, okay, he doesn't. Agent doesn't want any leaks. All this stuff, blah blah blah. Then fast forward to the next day, Dave Roberts, Dodgers manager.
He didn't even leak it.
He's like, he's our top priority. We've met with him, all that stuff. And then the GM's like,
he denied it.
Denied it.
So that's where I'm like, oh, if Dave Roberts said it, that means he's confident that they're getting him. But then the GM saying that's like, oh, never mind, or they're scared because this one, Dave Roberts himself literally said it. The Jays one, no one confirmed from the Jays side of things.
They tried to hide it. Like Schneider didn't say anything in his presser. No. Atkins was on a Zoom call trying to legit hide his location, and so the Blue Jays tried to follow the word, whereas Dave Roberts didn't. But this honestly to me proves that like this leaking thing is not going to factor into a signing now because like
too much.
Both teams, the two betting favorites
or the teams that
got leaked.
Yeah. So unless the Angels are literally gonna get him because they didn't leak anything, but yeah, like no, I genuinely thought he was staying in LA, one or the other. I genuinely thought at the most San Francisco will throw money out because they threw money out to Carlos Correa. I get it. This is gonna be more than double what Carlos Correa got, or even Judge was supposed to get. Or I thought the most it would be the Yankees, but I'm surprised the Yankees weren't in this. Now, I understand they made 2 trades literally in the last 2 days here, but I genuinely thought the Blue Jays were not even going to be a finalist. So the fact that I still believe he's a Dodger. I'm in the mindset now. I'm like, ever since the Kawhi stuff, when he left Toronto I'm
getting flashbacks.
I'm getting flashbacks because the last report was he's going to be a Laker, and I believed it, and he became a Clipper, obviously. So at this point, I'm like, I'm not getting my hopes up because one, it's Toronto, but which we never attract free agents. I guess false because we attract ever since George Springer we attracted one big free agent.
Bro, he's gonna have entire Canada and Japan behind him.
So that's my pitch, right? Like you already have kind of America, you already have Japan. Listen, Vancouverites like us, but mainly the ones that are non-Jays fans are gonna hate us saying this, but he will have all of Canada behind him. Yeah. Right? It's the Blue Jays, it's the Raptors. It's going to be considered Canada's team, quote unquote, until we get another baseball or basketball team. And he will. Because when the Jays were in the playoffs the first time, the amount of people thought I was a bandwagon kind of pissed me off a little bit. Because people that knew me knew how big of a Jays fan I was since like the Expos existed. At that point, that's how long I've been a Jays fan. Like around 2004 was the first time I could remember. I could, you know me, the nostalgic names I always bring up, and you're like, who?
I was like, I'm so confused.
But yeah, from the Jays side of things, like I said, I ain't gonna believe it till I see it. Even if it's like a report, I'm not gonna until I see him in a press conference sitting beside Atkins saying, "Haha, Dave Roberts." But
he's not gonna say that.
I know, but
he might say in Japanese.
But like, so they already proved me wrong once with the him being a finalist already, but.
Remember when I said if the Blue Jays want to get better, the only way you get better is by signing Ohtani?
Listen,
and the fact that like you're this close, and I was just saying that like you have to go for it big because you were genuinely so bad in the hitting department last year
that
now like
you were after the 2 biggest names possible.
And then exactly, and then I'm like, they actually might do this.
Yeah, so like that's my point, right? Me and you literally said just make an effort. Rest is up to him, right?
This is more than effort.
The fact that he traveled to Dunedin, he lives in California, from what I know, outside of Japan, obviously.
Florida's a good place, right?
No, I'm saying like the fact he traveled 5 hours, whatever flight time is, across the country to meet the Jays in Dunedin, going through customs or whatever he has to go through.
Usually it's the other way around. Like the Jays go to meet him.
The fact he went, and so I guess because the Jays, because he's on rehab as well, technically.
We're getting him?
Again, I'm not getting my hopes up because Soto already failed.
Well, the Soto one was always a backup plan.
No, but even then,
Jay said himself, like it's gonna.
We'll get to Soto in a second.
Yeah,
but from the Jay side, finishing up the Jay side of things on Ohtani, the fact that he traveled shows a lot because he wants to be in Toronto, right? Remember, he was one of the finalists when he joined the Angels. I'm pretty sure the Jays were one of the finalists.
Oh yeah, they were. That's another reason why I was like, they actually might do this because they had initial interest.
Second thing, people would think, oh, he wants to go to big team. It's the Angels. They're the B-Tech Dodgers, right? They're not even close to what the Dodgers are. So if he really, like, he joined a team when he could have joined any team he wanted the first time, he joined the LA Angels. Make that make sense to me. So, and listen, if you're talking about opportunity and team,
Mike Trout maybe.
Yeah, no, if you want opportunity, like you said it, you're going to get sponsorships all across Canada. You're probably going to get free meals in Canada. You're going to have a massive country.
If Kawhi got free meals, you're getting free meals.
And, like, I'm genuinely this surprised. Again, I'm not getting my hopes up. But, listen, if we don't get him, kudos to the Jays. You did everything you can, but now you got to figure out what your plan C is because plan B has failed.
Hopefully, you'll find out on Monday's pod. You'll find out where he signed.
No. You'll get a exclusive video if Ohtani signs anywhere.
Oh,
no matter
too.
what.
But
we're not unless it's on Sunday night.
If he does sign on Sunday, and you'll find out Monday if we're crying or celebrating.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like if it happens like the day we're recording, like I don't think I'll be able to like record a podcast. I'm just be smiling.
If he's a J.
If he's a J.
What
or
if he's
like,
not a J?
I'll probably be crying the whole time, man.
No, but okay. How long does rendering take? Now, because we have a new laptop.
Oh, it's way faster than the other
So
one.
we could do a same day upload for just Ohtani if we need to.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it doesn't have to wait a whole day.
I think we could have done that with the old laptop too. If it was like a
big news, yeah.
Yeah, like
but no,
like that.
On the flip, before we go to the Jays, finish off with the Jays again, I want to flip to the Dodgers. If you're the Dodgers right now, if you're a Dodgers fan, how confident are you right now?
I mean, I think
is it still the Dodgers to beat? Is the word on Jays?
Yeah, obviously because of the locational aspect of it. He's been in LA his whole entire career, MLB career. So familiarity wise, LA Dodgers make the most sense because he wants to win. There's no doubt about that, right? Like the Angels made all those deadline moves to help Shohei Ohtani win, and obviously it failed miserably. But the Dodgers are a better team. Like they won their division, right? It's gonna be a tough division again, and with all their pitching staff being injured as well. So like the Dodgers are a good baseball team, and good enough to make Jazz Doha a fan of them as well. But
check out that clip, by the way.
And then, so I would be confident because you have the locational aspect of it, and you have a good team,
LA.
And it's still LA, and
you could travel to Japan easier.
It's closer, it's closer to travel to Japan.
But so the Dodgers, I still think they're the team to beat. If you were a betting man, and don't put your bias into this, because you already know what my answer is, I still think he's a Dodger. Whenever that notification comes, he's chosen his team. Which team will it be?
I think it's Dodgers. We've both been saying it from the
I've said
beginning.
it since like his name popped up.
Since a deadline, I think we've been saying it. We're like, yeah, he's a Dodger.
Yeah. The last thing with the Jays before we go to the Soto stuff. With the Jays, they obviously have the new facility, so that might
new stadium as well.
He probably met with Vladdy because Vladdy's actually working his ass off right now. Thank you.
New stadium as well.
And then the renovations to the new stadium. No, not new stadium, but renovations to the stadium.
It's not a new stadium. The second part of renovations.
Vladdy in that ballpark. Not Vladdy because he struggled in that ballpark. Bro, but Shohei in that ballpark.
We did all those renovations to hit more home runs, and we hit less home runs.
Yeah.
So, just that's how you can tell that Jays were desperate offensively.
Yeah. No. I'm still in shock talking about we're a finalist. So
that's amazing,
we'll see.
right?
Now, how much of a chance are you giving it that I'm gonna say two teams. How much of a chance do you give Angels right now?
Angels, I think they're done. I don't think he's an Angel.
So you're saying like 0?
I don't see why he would want to be an Angel again.
Okay, I just say that because of loyalty. If he believes in loyalty, that's it. So I'm giving.
I think he believes in championships.
If there's a third team, who's the third team?
I think he believes in playoffs more.
If he's a third team, who's the third team?
Third team?
Yeah, because I think the third team is still the Angels.
I don't think it's the Angels. I mean, Braves and Giants. I think the Braves are done already too many moves, so I don't know if they.
That wasn't like a legit thing though.
Yeah, so I don't think I think it's the Giants.
You win Giants?
Because the Cubs are out, the Rangers are out, the Red Sox are out.
Cubs still are slightly there, more than the Rangers.
I think the Giants have the ability to sign them, in my opinion.
Yeah. To your point earlier though, about the free agency, now that I'm thinking about it more on the spot here, are like guys like Matt Chapman and these guys waiting? They might be, just because if Ohtani is a J, the Chapman and Heimer, Candelario, Bellinger know that, okay, maybe we'll be on I don't know. I guess the Yankees are done.
They can't pay me.
Huh?
Like they can't pay me.
Yeah, so they're going to go somewhere else. But like Texas, for example, or Boston, or who's on St. Louis, right? Because it looks like they're not really trading anyone. So that's the Ohtani stuff right now. I'm going to be constantly checking my phone. I know you'll be constantly checking your phone. When we do it. I don't think do you think he signs right now? Because like here's the thing, because Soto trade just got announced.
It's not.
If he really wants to overshadow Soto, it will happen. Otherwise,
it's happening on the weekend, bro. I think he's still deciding.
If he's actually still deciding, I'll take that. That means I know, at least I'm happy the Jays made a move.
Or effort
to make a move.
The move didn't happen.
But before we continue on with this Juan Soto trade, I just want to talk about something very quickly, very important.
Two big shoutouts.
But the first one is important, so I'll say the first one. You're gonna say the second one. The first one is simple. The Brandon Bossy Foundation, run by Derek Bossy, who we had on the podcast earlier, a good friend of ours, and his family.
And Brandon's both friends as well.
Yes. Through the Brandon All-Star Mentorship Program that they run at their school, North Delta Secondary School, where Brandon graduated from, they will be running a food drive. They've already did one last Saturday on the 2nd, and they did very well that they're going to do it again. So if you guys are in the lower mainland, this Saturday, December 9, come out to Newton Park, especially if you're in Surrey, in the North Delta area. Drop off any canned goods or any food goods. Baby goods you guys have, just come by Newton Park. Derek, I believe, should be there, but there will be someone there to take your goods in. If you cannot make it, or if you have any questions, you guys could DM Derek Bossy. We'll put his link in the description for his Instagram. You could DM us. We could reach out to Derek for you. If you are not able to show up, you're out of the country, and you want to support in any way possible, the Brandon Bossy Foundation GoFundMe page will be linked in the description down below, where you could donate funds as well. So if you guys are in the area in Surrey, Newton Athletic Park, from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock PST, just in case if you guys for whatever reason are traveling over.
And 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST. Make sure you guys come out to Newton Park, help support this foundation and the kids from North Delta Secondary and the Brandon Bossy Foundation.
All right, moving on to the second piece of news. This is more of a shout-out celebratory to our second ever guest, Benipal Guman.
Ben Guman?
Yeah. So in that pod, he said he needs to do a qualifier to make those big marathons. So he qualified for Boston. He went to California, I believe was it Sacramento?
I believe so.
Yeah.
We'll double check.
But it was California. That's what I know for sure. And he broke his personal best. He wanted a sub 3 hour marathon, and he got 2 hour 57. So congrats to you, Ben. Congrats on qualifying, and we're proud of you, and keep up the good work.
Shout out, brother. Appreciate you. You great positive influence on everybody in the community. Make sure you guys check out the story of Benipal, aka Ben Guman, on our podcast or on our YouTube. Talk about his story and everything there. So special shout out to him. Kill it in Boston next, and we'll be rooting you on from afar. So those are the two shout outs we really wanted to give. So make sure you guys.
Fuck does a man run 3 hours? I don't get
it. Ask him. Message him right now. If
I die after like 10 minutes.
But let's move on. Juan Soto. Rumors this morning were coming out. So the timeline of Juan Soto is this: Juan Soto is left Washington because he didn't want to accept a $450 million contract for whatever reason.
It was a 15-year, $440 million contract.
Or whatever it was, right?
That's what it was. I just saw it.
You did? Okay, I didn't know it was 15. That's why I thought it was like 12.
Or 12 to 15, but I know it was $440 million.
Yeah, so he rejected that, and then Washington's like, we're going to suck anyways. What's the point of paying you? And we're selling or something. I think they were selling at the time too. I'm not sure if they sold.
This was like right after when they won the World Series.
Yeah, so they ended up trading him last year's deadline.
Yes.
Not this past year, the year before deadline, right?
Yeah.
So he played 1.5 years with the Padres.
Yes.
Okay, so he got traded to the San Diego Padres with Josh Bell and a bunch of prospects to the San Diego Padres, who were one of the reasons why I picked them to be in the.
Obviously, when you look at that lineup.
Yeah, to be in the World Series last year or this past season. But yeah, so that was a timeline. He still did not sign a contract, so he was due to be a free agent next year, and. Coming to this off season, obviously after he had a good year, but the team having a bad year, they were looking to make trades, and obviously the Blue Jays name popped up as a backup again. I liked it as a backup option. I didn't really want to give pieces, and Yankees were the favorites. As much as I wanted to hate to say it, I had a feeling he was going to be a Yankee anyways. When the reports came out that it stalemated a bit because the Yankees did not want to give up some of the prospects. So while Jovan looks up for the trade. Eventually, then the Jays became the betting favorite again. I don't believe in that because I'm more of a believe it till you see it guy. Because many people are betting favorites. At one point, the Toronto Raptors were the betting favorite for Kevin Durant. At one point, the Lakers were the betting favorite to get Kawhi
How is that
Leonard.
even possible?
Right? So, ultimately, this morning, reports have come out that after the Yankees actually made two moves. The first one being Verdugo, which we'll get into in a second. But Soto was still not out of the option. We all thought he was out of. The Yankees will not go after him, but they still did with reports from, I believe, John Heyman. And this morning they said the talks furthered, and literally about 30 minutes ago it became official. So Joven, what's the trade?
The trade is Juan Soto and Trent Grisham. Yeah, right here. Juan Soto, outfielder. Trent Grisham, outfielder, to the New York Yankees for starting pitcher. Well, converted into starting pitcher, Michael King, who was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yankees number 2 prospect, I believe, and Drew Thorpe is starting pitcher as well. Johnny Brito.
Burrito?
Huh?
Burrito?
Like Brito.
Oh, okay, I was like...
Johnny Brito. This is all pitchers, bro, almost. Another starting pitcher in Randy Vasquez, and veteran catcher in Kyle Higashioka. So, it's legit.
7 players?
A 7-player deal, 5 going to the Padres, 2 coming to the Yankees, and Grisham, I think, was thrown in there because Padres wanted to get off the contract as well. And, the Drew Thorpe one, I could really see the pitching prospect because in the initial trade from Nationals to the Padres had to give up Mackenzie Gore, their top pitching prospect. So this kind of is going to like replace that for them as well. And then obviously Michael King, we saw him play last year. Absolutely just killer after Garrett Cole. Obviously he was bullpen converted to starting pitcher because all their injuries they had there, and he excelled in that role.
Yeah.
So obviously I could understand why the Padres want him as well.
He was the reason why it was stalemated at first, the trade. Michael King. Juan Soto, 25 years old, just turned 25 this past October. Question is, he's still a free agent, and Scott Boras, I believe, is the agent's name. He's also Chapman's agent. Usually his guys go to free agency. Usually. To test the waters, right? So my question, before we talk about the team's perspective, my question to you is, will he sign an extension with the Yankees, or this is a complete rental? Because he needs to be extended, obviously. Otherwise, he'll be a free agent. They have currently Garrett Cole at $300 million plus. They currently have Aaron Judge at $360. They currently have Giancarlo Stanton at $300 million. And yeah.
I mean, if I'm the Yankees, obviously you're going to find a way. And I don't think
to cut Stanton and bring him in.
Huh?
To probably cut Stanton.
Just find a way to clear up some money to offer that $300, potentially $400 million contract. But I mean, if any team could pull it off,
it's 400 for sure. He's young.
Yeah, he's 400.
Minimum 400. Depends on what Ohtani gets. He'll get 100 mil less than that probably. But yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the 400. It was 440 for 15 with the Nationals offer, I think, or 12, whatever it was. So
he's getting 400.
I think he'll still end up with a $400 million contract. Fucking baseball.
He's in the pinstripes, man.
But yeah, no. If any team could pull it off, it is the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
We haven't really known what his genuine interest in team is, because we know Padres wasn't really one, right? We're okay, this might be they're gonna have to trade him again, type of thing, or this is their window in these next 2 years to win it all, which obviously didn't happen for the Padres. So they did the right move. They're not taking the Angels approach where they ride it out with Ohtani. They traded him, got a decent value. I'm not sure how to overall grade this trade, but all I know is that Michael King and Drew Thorpe and getting their top pitching prospect is obviously going to help you out quite a bit there, especially when Blake Snell is gone. So you got a good replacement in Michael King with Blake Snell potentially there. And then obviously Yu Darvish is not getting any younger. We already know this.
Yeah.
So pitching wise, obviously you should be looking good in the near future here as well for the Padres. But yeah, if any team could pull it off, it's the Yankees.
Guess what? Outside of Michael King, they got more prospects. They could trade them to get a piece that could be available. Right?
Yeah.
They obviously need an outfielder now, clearly. Because they signed... Who did they sign last year again? Xander Bogaerts.
That was shortstop, yeah. And now obviously they moved Tatis to outfield.
So the Tatis is now your outfielder, but then you lost arguably one of the top 5 hitters in baseball right now. And Yankees. I hate the fact that it's the Yankees. Again, if it was, I wish it waited because the Jays would have had a chance. But I think because of the Michael King, the ask was so high, and is a possible rental that he. There's a reason that they were saying that it was tough for the Jays to do it because I doubt they would have want to throw in Manoah and Ricky Tiedemann in.
Yeah, it would have been tough. Like they were looking. You could clearly tell they traded for. Let me just double check here. Where did it go?
No, but like at the same time.
Okay, right here. 1, 2. They traded for 4 starting pitchers.
Yeah.
Right, like you could. They wanted starting pitching.
They'll trade one for sure.
Huh?
They'll probably package one with some other prospect.
No, I'm saying like in the return deal for Soto. Yeah,
for sure. So then for us, it would have been Ricky Tiedemann, him, and the pitcher that we drafted last year.
Like it would have been
before the year before Arjun Amella. Yeah.
But obviously, no, I could tell why Yankees wanted to keep Michael King. He was like genuinely, him and Garrett Cole were like the only gold, only diamonds that were on that team last year. Even though obviously you could consider Judge, but he was injured, and everyone else really stunk.
They're not too good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I hate the fact that he's a Yankee. It is what it is, though. The Jays obviously didn't want to make the move because of the pieces. I get it. The Jays did say that I think Ross Acton said it's a 2-year window. They're going all in. So this is why you keep hearing names like this and big.
2-year window because Vlad and Bo's arbitration. Well, Bo's already locked up.
So that doesn't mean that they're not coming back.
Bo's locked up.
Yeah.
Like Vlad's arbitration.
Bo's locked too in. They only signed a 3-year.
Yeah, no, but like that's to avoid the arbitration.
2 years for both either way.
I know, but like Bo's not in arbitration.
Oh yeah. I know what you're saying.
But speaking of the Yankees, they might have. Are you gonna move on to the next deal?
Yeah, let's talk about Verdugo. Then I have a Jays question.
Speaking of the Yankees, they might have constructed the best outfield in baseball, right?
Offensively for sure,
and defensively too. Aaron Judge is a good defender.
Alex
Verdugo has a good arm, so
I still think no one will touch our outfield from last year.
But then again, Alex Verdugo obviously might have a good arm because he has the green monster behind him. So like he doesn't have to throw very far, I guess. But yeah, no. The best freaking outfield in the league right now, Alex Verdugo, Red Sox player.
Yeah. So you search that trade up.
It's a Red Sox player.
I'm gonna talk about this. Yo, Boston Red Sox fans, whoever you are watching this, please, if there are any, comment down below. Are you happy with the return? Because we don't know baseball prospects much. Okay, so we're not gonna comment anything about that. How are you trading with the Yankees?
And like one of your better players.
And yeah, you traded one of your better players in division to your biggest rival. Even if it was the Jays, I would have been confused.
Yeah.
Right. Let alone being the Yankees, and I'm a loss for words.
He's so confused. He can't even speak.
I can't. No, like genuinely, like, do you get this? No, this is. I don't think this is I'm pretty sure Johnny Damon signed with the Yankees, so that's a whole different situation, and you hated him for it. Your front office traded one of your top players out after Rafael Devers.
Yeah.
To your biggest rival and made them better. I understand you guys are probably rebuilding now. I'm sure you could have traded him to the Dodgers like you did Mookie Betts. And by the way, he was part of that Mookie Betts trade, or any other team, Atlanta, whatever, I don't care. You traded him to the Yankees. Not only you screwed yourself over, you screwed me over and him over as Jays fans. I do not understand this. Why?
This is as emotional as it gets.
No, I just don't I don't get it. I genuinely don't.
Yeah, no. When you're looking at it, like,
have you ever seen remember any trade between Red Sox and Yankees? I'm just Googling it. Go talk about the trade.
From whatever I've seen, which is very recent in baseball. Obviously, you've been more in baseball, so if you can't remember it, how the hell am I going to remember it? So, yeah, so I would say that was my answer there is no. But the trade was Alex Verdugo to the Yankees for starting pitcher Richard Fitz, relief pitcher Greg Weissert. I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. And another relief pitcher in Nicholas Judice. I apologize if I say your name wrong as well. But yeah, Yankees got rid of a lot of pitching. Definitely. So they're definitely going to be more of an offensive team next year. We could say that other than Garrett Cole.
So here it is. I don't know how good these other guys are. So the latest trade is obviously this one, 2023. And 2023, they also made a minor league trade. Okay, so I'm not counting that really. Diego Hernandez cash for Greg Allen. Do you know any of those names?
That's the minor league trade.
Huh?
That's the minor league one?
I don't know if it's minor league. I'm like, do you know any of these names?
Oh, no.
Okay. 2021, it was Frank German or Herman, Adam Ottavino in cash. Yankees get a player to be named later. So nothing. I'm talking about. I'm okay. I understand they made two.
Is it still not named?
I don't know. It's 2021, right?
Okay, yeah.
Before that, 2014, Kelly Johnson, Steven Drew, and Cash. Before that was 97. Tony Armas, Jim McKeer, Randy Brown for Mike Stanley, right? So, fine, you made minor league trades with each other, whatever.
That's
no
fine.
one cares.
That's normal, yeah.
One of your top 3 players, arguably from last year.
Yeah, and just years past
top
in
5,
general.
I'll say.
Years past in general, right? Like, Verdugo is one of your top dogs, right? Obviously, you have Devers in there. You had Bogarts before as well until he left as well. So, like, Verdugo is a guy that you're going to use at the top of your lineup. And he has a good arm from what I've seen. Then again, it's in Fenway, so the field's a little bit smaller on his side, I believe, because left field. But like Verdugo is a all-around solid outfielder, all-around solid ball player, and you just gave that to your biggest rival, making their outfield the scariest it has ever been. And honestly, it's pretty complete to me because you know how Judge is at like what 6'9", 6'6", whatever he is. Like whatever it is, because we've seen Judge make incredible catches, right? And he could cover a lot of ground with his height, and then obviously Verdugo could do some stuff too there, and I'm pretty sure Soto's no bum in outfield. Like I think Soto's still capable as a defender, and obviously hitting wise.
Oh, it doesn't say his height on here.
Hitting wise, Soto is really good at drawing walks and obviously hitting in general. 6'7". And Judge, this man is like what 2 years removed of a 60 home run year, and then Verdugo is a good contact hitter as well. Yeah, and he could hit for power as well. So
Boston, you screwed yourselves over even more than anyone. So.
Well, I think it's a lost year for you unless you kind of make some moves here.
No, they're trying to get speaking of the Yankees and the Red Sox here, they're trying to get the guy from Japan.
Oh, Yamamoto.
Yeah, so he's met with the Mets already. He's meeting with the Yankees. I think he's meeting with the Red Sox. I guess we're not in the picture. And then,
starting pitcher.
I think those are the main ones. I think the Mets are heavy on him, so we'll see how that goes. But
Kodoi Senga.
Yeah. Okay. While you search up the other trades that happened, because some big trades or signings, moves happen because a name, for example, Eduardo Rodriguez, Craig Krimble. We'll get to that in a second. Question for you about the Jays. They already struck out on Soto. If they strike out on Ohtani like we kind of expect, what's the next plan? I think Steve Phillips said it's possibly Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, I think that's really your
bring
best
back
option.
Matt Chapman or Heimer, one of the two. But there's nothing really from there. And who's really the big trade? I know Blake Murphy, by the way, shout out to him. Check his podcast out, or check our podcast with him out and check his out. He said named Christian Yelich is someone he could see that could be on the move. But I threw out Nolan Arenado, but I don't think anymore because they're obviously looking to come back into the playoffs. I don't think anyone's gonna be at the whole Juan Soto level available.
No one is. There's no
outside of maybe if you want to trade Vladdy and Bo.
There's no one. You can't really get anyone, right? Like all the people, especially covering the positions as well, because you gotta cover your third base as well. You gotta cover outfield as well, with like Kiermaier being most likely gone. So if you're looking at that sense, Soto's gone. Jose Ramirez is signed, right? Locked up. Obviously, that was a couple years ago where we were interested in him in there. Nolan Arenado is not looking like the Cardinals are selling. So when you're looking at that sense, yeah, you might be a little bit screwed.
Listen, they're still a good enough team to make the playoffs with this squad, so maybe they just be better if they strike on Ohtani, I'm saying. I'm not saying you pay crazy money to Chapman either, but we'll see how it goes. But all right, let's finish off the rest of the moves that happened because there are big moves. So let's go.
All right. We're gonna start off with yesterday's news of another.
You gotta start from Sunday night.
Was it Sunday night?
Because we recorded Sunday afternoon.
That was it. Mariners trade Jared Kelenic and Marco Gonzalez and Evan White and Cash to the Braves for Jackson Kowar and Cole Phillips. So this is just another move that the Braves made to.
So when this trade happened, literally 5 minutes after we stopped recording on Sunday, they were trying to tie Soto to this one. But they're in on Paredes heavy, so that's probably why as well.
And also Randy Rosarena.
And Randy Rosarena, because they have that relationship, like I mentioned on Monday's
Rays,
pod.
man. They can't really keep anyone. And then obviously moving on, yesterday was Alex Verdugo. Well, 2 days ago technically, and then nothing really else happened there up until
today, Wednesday.
Two big signings have been made, starting off with the Baltimore Orioles finding their new closer
for the year only.
For the year, because it's a 1-year contract to Craig Kimbrell to replace Felix Bautista, who was unfortunately going to be out for the year due to, I believe, Tommy John.
Yeah. Not surprised. I'm surprised Kimbrell went for the 1 year, so he'll probably join his 7th team next year.
1 year, $13 million contract. Craig,
yeah.
Philly last year obviously performed well as a Philly. Obviously, as age went on, when he went from White Sox to the Dodgers, he started struggling as a Dodger. But had a good year with the Phillies, and now is going to be the closer for the Orioles for this year. And we'll see how it goes there. They needed someone there. They got someone. We still do believe that they need some more starting pitching, especially I think when they lost Kyle Gibson as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But the Orioles making their necessary move, which they did, and there's a lot of pitching available in this year's free agent class. And speaking of starting pitching, Eduardo Rodriguez, this man was on a Detroit Tigers team and declined a trade to the LA Dodgers last year at the deadline, but opted out afterwards. So I don't know if he really hates the Tigers because he didn't want to give him any return package because they're losing him from free now. Is on a team that honestly I love what they're doing this offseason. Arizona Diamondbacks. I said it before. They needed starting pitching. They needed a fourth guy for the playoffs. Obviously, you have Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, and your rookie last year, Brandon Pfaadt.
No, you have him.
And now you have Eduardo Rodriguez, 4-year, $80 million contract, on top of filling your third base need because you had old man Evan Longoria and a bench.
Shout out to him, bro.
Yeah, and then bench player Emmanuel Rivera, who was replaced by Eugenio Suarez, who's also been on a tear these last few years as well as himself. So they made two big moves, really bolstering their lineup and their pitching staff.
One move also, Adam Simber joined the Angels. We gotta just say that because we're Jays fans.
Yeah.
You know who's the biggest loser out of all this to close out the MLB talk here? It's the team you just mentioned right now, Seattle Mariners.
Until
we'll see, because you're not in the Ohtani sweepstakes.
But if you're in the...
Who commented, I like Seattle, by the way, at the All-Star game.
They're trying to recruit him during the All-Star game, right?
So...
No, but it's too early to tell because...
But right now, they're the biggest loser. Because teams are making moves or they're linked to people. They're not linked to anyone. I guess Paredes is the only one that's kind of out there. Or Wilson Reyna's not official either.
That's true.
So you lost Eugenio Suarez, a guy who helped you. You lost Kelnick, who wanted to be there. You lost Paul Sewell last year.
At the deadline,
At the deadline to the Diamondbacks, speaking of them. You're not in the Ohtani sweepstakes. I'm hearing Dave Softy Mahler, who KGR Radio in Seattle on Halford and Brough screaming I ain't gonna accept anything but Ohtani. Kind of like how you are more than me about the Ohtani for the Jays thing. Make a move. Your fan is okay. You would people that are complaining we're Jays fans or the people in BC are Jays fans over Seattle fans. Seattle fans have not done shit to entice to be a Jays fan or to convert from a Jays fan or to become a Seattle fan.
But as simple as
have they really? Be honest. No, outside of now getting Julio Rodriguez, which finally happened.
They didn't get him. Did they get him?
I think it's some international free agent or something like that. I don't know.
Like that,
I don't know how. I'll double. I'm not even gonna double check, but they got him.
He was a rookie.
They have him.
But the thing is, he wasn't established.
Yeah.
The point is here that they haven't really made that big move.
And what'd you do last year with him?
Nothing. He did everything.
He was arguably MVP in the second half because first half he wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
But put his win MVP conversation.
Trade away a closer.
And he traded away a closer.
Right. And right now, obviously, it's looking like moves that, to me, it's looking like you're creating space to get some big players. Obviously, Paredes and Rosenrein are looking like they're available. So if you managed to do that, props to you. You guys did some good business.
Obviously, it's early.
It's very early.
But
obviously,
the big names are going.
Yeah,
I'm not considering Matt Chapman a win for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a
defensively.
Win.
Sure, that left side
it'll be a win.
Insane.
It'll be a win if they get a Rosarena.
Yeah,
them, right.
I'll give them. I wouldn't even say they're big winners either.
Yeah,
because your fan base. Listen, I became a Jays fan around 2004. I witnessed no playoffs until we came back from India in 2015. You know what the Jays did? They at least tried. They got Mark Burley. They got David Price, who helped them get in the playoffs. Obviously, it helps on Encarnacion, and Jose Bautista took a jump for you. I know Jose Bautista played on many other teams before that as well. And it also helps you trade for Troy Tulowitzki at the time. I don't see the Mariners doing anything from what I remember. Since Ichiro, their next biggest star is now. And with Ichiro, you never made the playoffs since that 1 year in 01.
I mean, to be fair, we'll give them one trade that they made, which is in the previous deadline when adding Luis Castillo.
Yeah, so that's what I want to see more of. And now they're not even doing that.
Yeah, that's the only one I could think of.
As a Seattle fan, genuinely, if we were still neutral, entice us, right? I just happen to be a big Jays fan because I grew up watching. We had basic cable. Those of you guys know, the OGs know what basic cable is. It's literally channels 2, which is your guide channel, all the way to channel 29. So obviously, Sportsnet was the only sports channel before, because I remember TSN used to be channel 30, and the Jays game would be on before the Canucks games. That's how I became a Jays fan. Literally, that was real. I still watched Seattle growing up. I didn't hate Seattle, really. Yeah. So, but there's no marketing in BC for Seattle, right, to entice them. You're not making moves. Julio is in your lap, and that's about it. Like, to Jordan's point, you only made one big move to help you, which was Luis Castillo. All these guys, credit to JP Crawford, credit to Kyle Rowley and all these guys. These guys are great players for you. But how are you going to capitalize on it? Yeah, you were supposed to be the team to make the playoffs over Texas this year.
Yeah, it was a disappointing year, especially for how long you've missed it for. This was a year I personally expected them to be better.
I was in the minority picking Texas over Seattle.
Yeah, and them to be better and all that stuff, and they really took a step backwards after taking a big step forward. So yeah, I'm just confused by how they not really pounced there. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if I'm a neutral and you get me a Rosarena, I'm happy. You entice me enough, so go do that. But for
we'll see how
the AL's sake, and the Jays being in the AL and probably gonna meet you in the wild card or something like that. I mean, meet you in a wild card race.
Beat us though, so kind of
meet you in a wild card race, because I don't expect the Jays.
Oh yeah, no. Early favorites are Yankees are coming out of the AL. They go every other year anyways. This is the year they should. If not, bro, please beat the San Diego Padres from this year. I hope for that.
Yeah, hope.
They're making, because people are making fun of him for not being on Otani, and they ended up getting Soto and Verdugo.
But yeah,
so, let's move on.
You have the chance to make the move, so make them.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's go to soccer quick, because I just want to talk about what we experienced on the T-shirt you're wearing, the name in the back. Obviously, you're not going to get up right now and show it, but it's a Christine Sinclair shirt you have on right now. We went to BC Place, aka
it's David.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I know you want it. It's a similar shirt, obviously. But Christine Sinclair Place. Is this the greatest sporting event you've been to? In person?
Greatest, biggest.
All tied into one.
All tied into one.
We've never seen BC Place sold out like that.
Christine Sinclair Place.
Okay. CS. Yesterday, same. CS Place. Be filled like that. There were 48,000 people there. Vancouver did an amazing job coming out and supporting, either putting online support. The pre-game ceremonies were insane. One thing that gets me emotional, if I were to get emotional things, not like those scenes from movies or whatever, it's how athletes, when they win a championship, how they react, retirement speeches, coming home, right? Those are the type of things that will get me teary-eyed, or feel the tears coming out type of thing. And they did it with that video for sure. It was insane. It was everything you expected. Obviously, I wished a little bit more at the end, but pre-game wise, great. Coming out with a Sophie Schmidt shirt instead of her own. Everybody else wearing the GOAT Christine Sinclair shirt. Shout out Jasmine Mandair over there, killing it, coaching the GOAT. Coming out in my opinion way too early, because I guess it was slightly planned to come out at the 12th minute mark in the second half, and bring in Sophie Schmidt for the last half an hour or so of that game. Ended up winning the game 1-0. Atmosphere insane.
Just all around celebration, all around gratitude, I guess, for the GOAT of Canada soccer, who put Canada soccer on the map, in all facets basically. And
when do we have an opportunity to see a GOAT?
Exactly. So this is the only time we had seen a GOAT
at home, especially
at home. Yeah,
not like Sidney Crosby coming into town for his last time. It's not gonna hit the same compared to someone closing out their last game at home.
Yeah, this is their genuine last game for Canada, So yeah, sucks to see her go. And
2 decades, 40 years old. Debut was, I don't even know if you were born or not.
But if I said this right, like if she scored a hat trick that game, she shouldn't be retiring.
She was fine, but you could tell she was a little slow. That's how I'm gonna say it. Because she's not even in the starting lineups anymore.
Yeah.
Rest of the girls and the men, but the girls especially. Let's see, carry on that legacy. In my opinion, you guys have a lot of work to do to catch her legacy specifically.
There's no.
But as a team, though, as she said it, she wanted to leave it in a better place than she found it, and now it's your job. Step it up. You guys are doing well. You guys looked fun. Chloe Lacoste, Ashley Lawrence, and Jessie Fleming in person, fun to watch. From that game specifically.
They're class.
So good. But yeah, good luck and congratulations on the retirement, Christine. And come on the pod.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Genuinely, it was fun. It doesn't feel like she's retired yet. And we'll see her. Good news is, if you guys still want to see her play soccer, she's still playing for Portland
To finish out the season. Yeah.
Maybe you'll see her as a coach, future Canada coach. But
yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, just once again, thank you. That's all we could say for letting us watch Canada soccer since 2012.
All right, let's move on to
some other soccer news very quickly. Just end it here.
Yeah.
EPL. We got the first sack of the year of a manager, and it's from Sheffield United. It's not Eric Ten Hag, thank God.
Yeah.
Sheffield United became the first Premier League club to fire its manager this season, Paul Heckingbottom. What a name. Losing his job on Tuesday. And the club, it's a Saudi-owned club. What? That's crazy. They're in the bottom. The club's Saudi owner, Prince Abdullah bin Mossad bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, took the unusual step of announcing the departure of Heckingbottom on a radio station.
Wow.
Telling TalkSport and Britain that Chris Wilder, former manager, and the manager when Sheffield United was last in the league in 2020 and 2021 season, had been brought back for a second spell in charge. I don't think this is on an interim basis, because I don't see the word interim anywhere.
Yeah.
So Chris Wilder's back, and Sheffield did well then.
They were
the first year.
The first year,
I remember, like, really was that when they did the restart and then they were like 5th or something, 4th? We were fighting with them to be a top 4 seed, top 4 team.
Yeah, it was.
And during the COVID restart.
Yeah, that really ruined them because they weren't good after the restart.
Yeah.
But like that year they were legit up there, at 4th place, 5th place all this time.
Yeah.
To the point where like if it came down to like, because some teams played more and then less than each other, obviously. So like, because of COVID, it could have came down to like point percentage, right? And from then factoring them in that
point percentage, they were ahead of us then.
Yeah, they were ahead of us because they played less games.
Yeah,
as well. So yeah, they were really good that year, and obviously struggled the year after.
Yeah,
and then made it back.
Currently, only have 1 win.
They lost 5-0 to.
They're 5 points. They're dead last.
They lost 5-0 to the 19th place team or 18 in Burnley.
They're 19th.
Yeah,
and 18th bootleg ways. It's Everton. So, but like the 3 teams are the relegation teams are technically the teams 3 promoted teams are technically the minus the point deduction, which they're appealing, by the way. Everton are the relegated teams, but it's Everton at the moment. Shout out Luton Town, 3 goals against Arsenal. Before we get to the biggest story of the EPL midweek, I don't think we ever did a midweek EPL.
Not this year.
Yeah.
Not so far.
But yeah, no, Luton Town took Arsenal to the brink. Took Declan Rice to win it late. 4-3 final score for Arsenal. So Luton Town played well. Let's see if they stay up.
Arsenal extend their lead because Manchester City also lost to Aston Villa.
4-game winless streak. Villa has surpassed City.
That is wild.
And Aston Villa, the biggest surprise right now, is at 3rd. I expect them to be good, but not like this good.
They're 3rd place good. So.
Yeah. Oh, Juan Soto.
Juan Soto. But yeah, Aston Villa beating City. They're an incredible home team, right? Like,
okay,
they are very.
I'm gonna correct myself.
What?
In the Premier League, 4-game winless streak, because technically they played Red Bull.
Okay, yeah. But Aston Villa, incredible home record, home team. They're incredibly difficult to beat when you're on the away side, and obviously under Unai Emery, incredible manager himself. From what he did that team last year is continuing on this year, and Leon Bailey, Ollie Watkins, all these guys are killing it. Emi Martinez, right? So they're a good squad, and they have an incredible home record right now, and they're showing it, especially with the 3rd place showing so far.
And 2nd place is Liverpool, 4th place is Man City. 3 points behind Man City at 6th place right now is Manchester United. Now, they could drop to 7th if Newcastle wins their game in hand. But either way, 3 points behind 4th. For how bad of a season we're having, we're 3 points off first and 9 points off... 3 points off 4th and 9 points off first. Which makes us 5 points off 3rd. So how bad of a season having...
I don't get it. I do not get it.
Okay, let's talk about today's game on Wednesday.
Finally.
No, not finally, because we saw it against Everton as well. Finally.
The Everton one, the difference with Everton one, when we scored, we fell off. The thing with this one, the Chelsea one, I could argue Everton deserved to win that game. In my opinion, especially in that first half. Like, Everton could have got that game.
First half, they could have tied it up. They could have got that
game. They could have got that game done and dusted in the first half.
True.
Everton.
But we had Onana. Premier League Onana's goated.
Yeah.
Champions League sucks.
Whereas today's Chelsea game,
we dominated from first minute to 90th.
Chelsea, like Man United, were the better team from minute 1 to 90. Yes, Chelsea had incredible chances to score. But Man United had even more.
That was because we're pressing so much.
Even more incredible chances to score. Yeah. Man United had.
I don't know how McTominay did not score that one play after he scored. Bruno missed a penalty. Shout out finally, Sofian Amrabat. The reason why we got him was today. You watched the game, right? More so than I did.
Yeah.
I watched the first half and I'm like, okay, yeah, he's everywhere. Here's the thing with Sofian Amrabat. He fits McTominay, what McTominay wants to do. And as much as Kobe Mino played well, Kobe Mino is young. As good as he is, I don't think he's a traditional 6 like Amrabat. And as much as I want Kobe Mino to start, you can't take off McTominay now.
You cannot. That's the current
unless you want to play him striker.
It's wild because like the team that Ten Hag started with last year, right? Like all those guys that were struggling last year are the ones playing good this year. Example, Maguire and McTominay, and all the ones sold. And most of the ones that were playing really well last year are either not sniffing the field, aka Varane, or absolutely been dreadful like Rashford,
and have been injured like Casemiro and Martinez.
Yeah.
So, shout out to your guy Anthony.
Hey,
that front three. Here's the thing. Go first quickly.
He's performing, right? His last 2 games he played.
Yeah.
He's been playing well. Obviously, the ones he started, the Galatasaray. Yeah, obviously the decision making him as an attacker still is questionable because there's many times where he cuts in. Even though he won the penalty on that play.
Yeah.
But I'm like...
That was hilarious.
But I'm like, why the hell are you cutting back into the... Like, you're clearly at space forward and you're cutting in.
The left foot.
Yeah, obviously, because he has no weak foot. But overall, he's been playing well in his last 2 games. Obviously, Garnacho, he's been on a tear.
Yeah.
Right? Ever since, honestly, I think the beginning of November, even end of October. Right? Like, he's been playing really good. And then Højlund is a Champions League player because he generally can't find a way to score in the Premier League. But when it comes to Champions League, man's bagging in 2 or 3, 1 or 2, not 3, 1 or 2 per game.
Yeah. Last thing with Ten Hag, the people that first of all, I'm glad he kind of kicked out those reporters of those leaks because there are a couple of players that do it. You cannot tell me today's side does not want to play for Ten Hag. Sofian Amrabat literally in his post game said, "We love this coach. We're gonna do everything we can for this coach." Yes, do I disagree with the Anthony signing in hindsight? Yes.
He's been mistakes, but what manager has not made bad signings, right?
Yeah, true. But what I'm saying is he's playing for the manager. Bruno as captain playing for the manager. I'm not saying, like, I still disagree that Varane should not be on the bench, but you can't take off Maguire really. And Lindelof should not be playing. So either you put Luke Shaw center back or you give Varane the chance. Because clearly that made the difference today when Reguilon came in. But he got the tactics right today. The midfield outworked their midfield, who cost 225 million combined. But at the same time, like, this is you could tell, like, he knows what he's doing. He's getting it done. He needs the players to play for him. The difference between Newcastle and Chelsea game was that Newcastle game, they looked like they gave up on him.
Bro,
he fixed the lineup and it looked way better.
I swear to God, in that Newcastle game, I don't think anyone sprinted. Like, I genuinely do not believe anyone sprinted. Whereas this game, they were working their ass off. They were sprinting. They were pressing, which I finally... When's the last time? When Eric Ten Hag came in last year, he introduced a high press to us. I was like, yo, we need to do more of this.
Yeah.
Ever since...
Look at today.
I never seen our team high press this year. And obviously...
Until today.
And it freaking worked brilliantly.
Dude, by the way, Robert Sanchez sucks on the ball. Holy shit.
It's like a Nana when, like, he does the most goated thing, but does the most stupid thing.
Nana's better at it. That's for sure.
Although Nana had this... fair share of mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay,
but like this was
we'll
brutal.
be honest here. Yeah, but no, like high pressed. It's not even Sanchez making a mistake. Their center backs to make a mistake. Like I saw Thiago Silva make a mistake.
He's old, man.
I know, but like he's still goated.
Yeah, he is.
He's the only gem on that team.
No, once Martinez comes back, like Luke Shaw made a huge difference. We gotta admit that. Right?
Yeah, defensively, yeah, he did.
Here's the thing. Last year, when we had 2 bad games at the beginning of the year, it was the Liverpool game at home, a team that's contending for a title. We beat them at home 2-1, and we took off. I'm hoping this is the case now. We're the only team that hasn't drawn a game, by the way.
Bro.
The difference now is, in hindsight, Chelsea ain't a title contender.
Yes.
But pre-season, you can't tell me they were not in the top 4 or 5 mix.
Well, I didn't have him in my top 4.
I think I had him in my 5th. I had him 5th.
I had him like
But
6.
in general, I wasn't the only one saying that.
I had him 6th or 7th.
But I wasn't the only one saying
around there in that range.
I wasn't saying that though.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one saying that, sorry.
But
no, my point is, it's the same thing. You played good. 2-1 win again. So hopefully you can start a run on games. Because we play Liverpool and Anfield though, so that's the test.
Oh, okay,
coming up.
We're losing 7-0. No.
Soon, not this weekend. I think
it's
next
like
weekend.
2 weeks, yeah, I know. But yeah, you gotta get this next dub. Obviously, continue the run. I don't know when your Champions League is. Is that
this Wednesday?
This Wednesday. So you definitely gotta win the next game.
Yeah.
So win against Bayern, win against, I forgot who you play next. Going to Liverpool with a good little momentum and see what happens. And other than that,
as much as I want them to progress, I said this last time, I'm not gonna be mad if they miss out on any European competition. So just considering the league, considering the league is
I'm
there.
gonna be mad.
Well, obviously,
I'm pissed off.
on
off.
expectations. I'm talking about in hindsight, knowing where we are right now. I'm at the mindset of like less games because their injuries are killing them, and just focus on the thing. I'm mad they won't progress. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I'm saying now at the point where we are now, if I'm looking at this point.
So you should word it as like,
in hindsight.
Because you said, and I'm not going to be mad. You're going to be mad. You should say it's not going to be the worst thing. It's not going to be the worst option.
That way. Okay, that's the best way to put it.
That's how you can say it.
It's not going to be.
Because when you say I'm mad, I'm like, okay, are you a fan?
Do you agree with that?
Like, that's what I'm going to think.
But do you agree with that, though?
Yeah, it's not, okay, it's not the worst option if we miss out. Obviously, if you're looking at the players health-wise. But yeah, I'm going to be pretty fucking pissed if we miss out.
I won't. But at this point, do you think they're going to make it?
Well, at least...
I've accepted they're not going to make it.
Well, Europa League, I guess.
Yeah, like at this point, for the Champions League, I expect they're not going to make it.
You have to have a lot of things going for you.
Yeah.
You need a Copenhagen Galatasaray draw and a win over against Bayern. The only thing with Bayern is they might not play their best squad, and you're at home, so you have a chance of winning. But those two drawing...
But we have Onana.
Those two drawing as well, yeah. We have Champions League Onana is built different.
Against this team as well.
Like, built different, I mean, like, he's built like shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that will end the soccer there. As Man United fans, just please continue 2 games in a row like this now. Because every time we see this, like, oh, we're back. We're not back. So I think you have Bournemouth this weekend. So let's see how that goes. All right, let's go quick fire before we end off on. Do you want to end on the NBA or do you want to
end on NFL?
NFL, because NBA is a big news too.
Yes.
Let's go quick fire. First off, very quickly, boxing. Devin Haney's fighting this weekend. I believe the UFC is the following weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll double check that just so we could make our predictions. But in case if it's this weekend, but yeah. So Devin Haney, Regis progress. We might be missing the game depending on we're back in Surrey Soccer League, baby, and try to get an indoor crown this time.
No rest for Surrey Soccer League.
Yeah,
2 weeks,
and then spring will start right
2
after.
weeks off, and now you're back at it.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's that fight. Let's talk NHL very quickly. 2 things I want to point out mainly. One, the Hughes Bowl was insane apparently because we missed it because of the Sinclair game. Yeah, but from what I heard, it was a fun game to be at, and obviously emotions for Canucks fans, doing the most Canucks thing possible. Tyler Myers
doing the most Tyler Myers thing possible.
We need Susie back ASAP.
Oh my god, bro.
But yeah, but outside of that,
the amount of goals I've seen that were like 4 goals out of the 6 goals.
Yeah,
was a Devils player wide open in front of the net. Right, like I know, like we expect Demko to make saves, and honestly, we've seen him do it so many times. We're like, okay, when he lets in the goals, I get surprised. Like that's how good Demko's been, and obviously he hasn't been. As a team, we haven't been the greatest. We're 6 and 7 in our last 13, and Demko's out riding a below 900 save percentage. But when you're leaving a guy wide open in front of the net every single play,
especially the game winner, when you just tied the game,
exactly. Something's bad gonna happen, and it happened. It cost you 4 times at least. I don't even know. It might cost you more because I didn't even see the other goals.
Man, the Devils goalies suck. Though I have them winning the cup, and I don't think I trust their goaltending right now unless they go out and get like UC Soros or whoever is going to be available.
Yeah.
But before I mention the reason why we're talking NHL very quickly, just checked it. UFC is following weekend, so December 16th. Anyways, LA Kings, they made a comeback yesterday or Tuesday, and are on a 10-game road winning streak.
Yeah, so they've been on to a killer start.
Again, them and Winnipeg, the two teams that made the big trade, are the most under-talked about teams in respective countries, I guess.
Well, I feel like they're getting a little bit more conversation right now, especially from what they've been doing, both of them. But, credit to both teams, credit to both the
credit to another
coaches,
team.
And,
credit to another team.
The Minnesota Wild. The coach bump, the new coach bump.
The new coach bump is working. John Hines is killing it there. And, Arizona, though. Two news for them. They might, once again, potentially have a new arena. So, there might not be that video we made in our second episode ever about Salt Lake City or wherever.
Yeah.
May not happen. But we'll see, because we've heard this many times. But no, the main reason why is they're a first wildcard spot right now with a game in hand and could be like 4 points clear if they win that game in hand.
Didn't they go on a stretch where they'd be like 5 of the last cup winners?
Yeah.
Right? Like, was that all 5 in a row as well?
Yes.
So, like...
I'll pull, I have it up.
You have it up? Yeah, so what was that?
So they beat the Capitals 6-0 on Monday.
Yeah.
They beat the Blues 4-1 on Saturday.
Yeah.
They OT beat the Avalanche on Thursday.
Yeah.
This is going to last week. And then they beat the Lightning, who are the 2-time cup champs. You could say 6. 3-1.
Well, it counts as one team.
And they beat Golden Knights 2-0.
So they
shut out Golden Knights.
So one from 2018.
And then the last loss was against the Blues, 6-5. We're coming off a 3-game losing streak as well.
Yeah, so you went on a 5-game win streak all against the last
good teams.
Last
like
5
Washington surprised teams.
Yeah, Washington and Blues are playing well, right? And then obviously when you have the Vegas, the Avalanche, right, and the Tampa Bays, we already consider them good teams there.
Yeah, Edmonton also going on a hot streak now. San Jose is no longer last place, so you can't say they're the worst team in history anymore.
Chicago's last place?
Chicago's last place. The Canucks are back to playing 500 hockey. Hopefully it's just a blip and not actually 500 hockey for the rest of the way, even though that might be good enough to make the playoffs. 6 and 7 in the last 13. Their thing is win, loss. So now we're off a loss. We should win.
Loss, win, technically. If you're dating it
true,
from
yeah. But I'm just saying, that's how it is.
So, yeah, it's concerned, I guess. We're back.
Yeah.
Canucks fans are back. Canucks are back.
All right.
To how it's always supposed to be.
All right, let's get into the NBA while we have it on in the background where the Clippers are about to beat the Denver Nuggets here, it looks like.
Unless... And Kawhi Dagger? No, he should have stayed in Toronto.
Okay. NBA, the big thing is the tournament. The quarterfinals happened. KCP just hit the side of the board. Okay. Sorry, that's why I had to stop.
Refocusing. NBA in-season tourney. The semifinals are set. The 4 teams are going to Vegas are set.
That is being played on Thursday.
Yes. So, coming out today, playing today, the LA Lakers hold off the Phoenix Suns, right? And the New Orleans Pelicans handled the Sacramento Kings. We're going to have a little 80 versus his former team showdown in the semifinal in the West.
On the flip side, Brandon Ingram, one of the most underrated players in the league, in my opinion. Eastern
side, the Pacers upset the Celtics.
That game was fun.
Yeah, it was a great game. Obviously,
fast-paced,
high scoring. And the
Tyrese Halliburton played like it was an actual final. So
exactly.
First ever triple-double. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, and then Pacers hold off the Celtics, my favorite, my winner. And then on the other side, Bucks and Knicks, they kept it close for a while.
Until half.
Until half the game. Until the Bucks ran away with it. Giannis and Dame scoring over 25. I think Giannis over 30. Dame like at 28.
Shout out Giannis. He's like, what? We get money out of this? Damn, the rich get richer.
And then obviously shout out to Julius Randle with a 41-point performance, but obviously wasn't enough because the Bucks are becoming like the Bucks that we expect them.
So before we make our predictions for this one, as obviously I'm a Laker fan, we all know this, and obviously I want the Lakers to win this, clearly. But if I'm a neutral, I either want Lakers Bucks or I want Pelicans Pacers, because I think Pelicans Pacers is gonna be a fun ass game.
Yeah.
Literally, Zion going downhill there. Shout out to him who's been healthy. I think one of the only games he's missed was the birth of his daughter. I believe his kid, but I think it was daughter. But other than that, with how this Pacers team is playing, insane, right? So, by the way, the Lakers got banned from wearing their black jerseys on those courts. Apparently, it's like not good for the eyes or something. Like the court ain't doing it like that. The contrast,
the camouflage.
It's not even camouflage. Because I think our court's yellow and purple, like gold and purple, and our jerseys are black.
So how does that?
I don't know, something.
Does it match?
I saw David McMenamin tweet
does,
about
it
this.
Doesn't match.
But
yeah, we have a 4 semi-final set. Obviously, we'll go with the Eastern side first because you have more of an emotional take on the Western side.
Oh, I'm picking the Lakers.
So okay, we'll go with the Western side first since you picked the Lakers. I guess I'm picking the Lakers as well. Obviously.
So congratulations to the New Orleans Pelicans for making.
Yeah.
Then okay, our joint picks lost. Boston lost, and in the West, I picked the Kings and you picked the Kings.
No, did we pick all 4 games?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
I mean, we both picked the Bucks. Pretty sure we both picked the Bucks.
Oh, I think we flipped. No, we flipped the East. Sorry, we same the East and flipped the West. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I thought we picked like game 1, right? Okay, never mind.
So you went with the Pelicans. I went with the Kings. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't pick.
And you went Suns, I went Lakers?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 0 for 4.
No.
Or 1 for 4.
1 for 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just for the sake of picking, yeah. But yeah, no, Lakers Buck is my finals. Sorry,
Same.
Pacers.
I feel like it's like, I'm not saying rigged. By the way, that ending of the game, the 2-minute report came out. They're saying that when the timeout was called and they freeze framed it, the ball and between the hand and the knee is considered possession still. So that's why it's they pretty much confirmed that it was not a missed call.
Yeah.
So screw you, Brawadas.
Lakers Bucks is our prediction for the final. Shout out to the Pacers for obviously.
But I will not be mad if I see Pacers and Pelicans. Yeah. I don't want to see Pacers, Lakers, or Bucks and Pelicans. I just want to see. As much as people are going to be like, oh, it's not great for the NBA, shut the hell up. The same thing I said for the MLB applies here. If it's Pacers, Pelicans, it's going to be fun. I promise you that. I hope. But I'm pretty sure it will be fun.
It's be a 40-point win in the final.
But no, like genuinely though.
It's be a blowout.
Like I hate those type of fan bases where they're like, oh, the casual fan, like, I'm only here to watch LeBron versus Giannis or Dame versus AD. No, like it'll be good basketball. And any
they're
of the
not basketball
matchups.
fans. They're just like fans of players type of thing, right?
Yeah.
They only watch because of like one reason.
Yeah,
one
LeBron
reason
and
it's not even because of how LeBron plays.
Giannis.
It's just because of the name.
We all know it's going to generate more money. So
like
I have a feeling. I also have a feeling that it will somehow be the Lakers Bucks, anyways.
Yeah, the reports, the 2-minute reports will find a way.
Speaking of it, it's just popped up on the team. So, might as well there the Thursday. So that today, and then the finals will be Saturday at 5:30.
We're missing the ending.
We're missing the ending.
Yeah, but let's move on to finish off the pod with NFL, the National Football League.
What we normally start off with. We decided to end off with it this time.
I mean, we ended off with it last week too, I'm pretty sure. But in one of the pods, not the last one.
Oh yeah, because we previewed the tourney.
Yeah. But Monday Night Football, it was actually a delight. oh my God.
Weird game.
It wasn't a weird game because actually no, it was a weird game because we didn't expect Jake Browning to go off for 300 plus yards.
Right. We did not expect Trevor Lawrence to get injured the way he did.
And then CJ Beathard come in and actually
get hurt as well
and play well still.
Nathan Rourke will be obviously started trending for obvious reasons, and he will be the backup most likely this weekend.
Yeah, he should be the backup. But yeah, no, weird game. Zach Taylor, give you props. Coached a good game. Helped Jake Browning out as much as possible. Jamar Chase obviously was a big reason why with 11 receptions from there. And then, eventually...
Thank you, Bengals. You're helping the Colts potentially get a division win.
But also kind of keeping yourself in the mix as well. So you might prove me wrong.
But you are playing the Colts, so screw you guys.
Yeah. So, just well done there. They're also missing another key piece on defense in Cam Taylor-Britt as well, who's on IR. I think he's on IR for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's not just Joe Burrow they're missing. They're missing their number one corner
Ohtani
as well.
Update very quickly.
Okay, it's not a sign, right?
No. Los Angeles Angels remain in the mix. So I was right.
Sick.
Angels will still reportedly still alive and push to re-sign superstar.
But are they? But are they though?
But no, okay, let's do our Sunday Night Football, because technically we were in the middle of it.
We were in the middle of it.
While we recorded.
Yeah, we'll do a quick recap there. The Packers streak continues.
And the
Jordan
Chiefs
Love
are in trouble.
Jordan Love has figured it out.
The Chiefs are kind of in trouble for contendership as of now.
They are.
Listen,
100% they are.
Here's
right
the thing, right? I'm gonna talk about one thing.
It just feels like it feels like they traded Tyreek Hill in this offseason. That's what it feels like.
Here's the thing. Juju, when you got Juju, if you're gonna, like how you said in the preseason previews and all that, you said Tyreek Hill, right? Not Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce's number 1, and I agreed with you in there. Here's the thing, though. When Juju was the number 2 in behind AB, Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh, he was a Pro Bowler. When he became the number 1, he struggled. Look what happened now. He became the number 2. Yeah, he might be the number 1 wide receiver, but there was no second option. But there was no pass catcher in Pittsburgh like Travis Kelce was.
Yeah.
So he became the number 2, and it helped. And then it helped more when you bring in Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney ain't a number 2, clearly. And nor is Sky Moore, nor is at least right now Marcus
Rashee Rice is showing some promise at the rookie. But honestly, I can't blame him too much because the number 1 option is not playing like a number 1 option himself, right? And Travis Kelce.
True. Because like how would you do this? I mean, he's Travis Kelce. I'm not saying that part.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm saying like
he did it the year
he's
before.
Literally the focus.
Like the fact that they did it the year before, right? Like you kind of like.
But here's the thing: no one is catching passes.
Yeah.
So they're like, catch the ball.
No one from Travis Kelce to anyone. Like he has genuinely no one to throw to. Whereas last year, Travis Kelce was still there and playing at a high level. So it's not just wide receivers; it's Travis Kelce as well.
Yeah, true, but they don't have a Juju. If Juju was back, I don't think they would have these issues.
They might.
I don't think so. Because they did it last year already.
Yeah, but like it would be hard to continue on. But like, it genuinely feels like Tyreek Hill felt like the effect is just happening now. Everyone expected to happen last year, but it's happening this year.
Jamal Murray's season has only 23 points.
Barely played.
I know he was injured.
Yeah.
I expected him to get maybe more before.
He's a playoff performer.
But anyways, let's go superlatives because I do want to have an award conversation for MVP specifically again.
Yeah, we'll focus on MVP on that because I think we did a lot of that last week as well. But let's just quickly get the news out of the way just because.
Yeah, because I wrote Shaq there and I'm like, wait, what? And then I realized it was Leonard.
Yeah, so Shaquille Leonard is
officially an Eagle.
Was deciding between Cowboys and Eagles.
Officially an Eagle.
And is officially an Eagles who need linebacker help. And obviously you're going to get some help.
Cooked on the weekend. So
yeah, you're going to get some help with Shaquille Leonard hopefully. And,
bro, it would be the most Colts thing ever. Okay, if Shaq proves it that he works there, then it's definitely a Gus Bradley system.
Oh yeah, it was a system. It was a system that like failed him because Sirianni is the one who's bringing him in.
Sirianni doesn't have.
I know, but I'm just saying Sirianni's the one bringing him.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously it makes sense there with a connection. So, but yeah, Shaq Leonard.
I'm glad he's an Eagle over a Cowboy though.
Yeah, kind of.
As much as I love Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, kind of helps us for like supporting them as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see if he really like proves. First of all, is he healthy? Because we don't know if he's fully healthy yet, or if that's factoring in there, or is it genuinely the system? And obviously, with the Eagles' defense, with all the playmakers around him on the defensive side, his job doesn't have to be as more important. Whereas like you have the Hassan Reddicks, the Darius Slade, the Bradbury, the Kevin Byard as well. So we'll see what happens there from now on. But yeah, we'll head into superlatives
for the week. Last week.
Starting off with your biggest disappointment.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going with them. I know you can see the Chiefs. So we already kind of talked about it on Sunday Night Football, so I don't want to say much. And we have the obvious one. We have a collective one, which is Pittsburgh, right? Like you're going to go with that. I guess you could expand on that if you want.
No, we'll go collective on Pittsburgh. I have another one.
Okay. No, just Jacksonville. Missed field goal. Your defensive schemes weren't the greatest. Listening to the Manning cast, are like, what the hell are they doing every 2 seconds on defense? They should not be giving up 34 points and that many yards to Jake Browning.
And your defense is generally.
And you let like Jeff Saturday was on McAfee show and he said, how do you let Jamar Chase get 125? Let other guys win, and you let Jamar Chase beat you, the one guy you're not supposed to let beat you.
Yeah, you didn't cover the main problem, but yeah, they generally have a decent defense.
Better than what they did. Yeah,
they didn't show up on Monday. For me, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, you lost to a good team, but you're a good team in yourself. To the fact that you got destroyed is alarming to me as well. And another thing is that you cannot allow 6 straight touchdown drives at any point of the game.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's the end of the game, to start off the game, or any stretch. You cannot allow six straight touchdown drives, right? No matter what team you're playing. Obviously, you're going to lose there. So, yeah, the Eagles getting destroyed. So, that is my biggest disappointment is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. I guess collectively, our surprise of the team is Arizona, even though I just looked at Kyler's number. It wasn't the greatest. But Green Bay. I'll talk about Green Bay here a little bit more. Jordan Love looks like he is going to be the next Aaron Rodgers as of right now.
And this is a recent stretch he's been on.
Recent stretch, it could still change. But we'll see what happens there. I'm not going to expand too much, but Green Bay for sure.
I'm gonna pick a couple players here. I'm not gonna pick a team.
Sure.
Player number 1, Jake Browning.
Okay. We already talked about him. So
we already talked about him. Player number 2, and this team doesn't really not known for their passing attack, but Gardner Minshew.
NFP or MVP. Sorry.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. I think I saw that on Twitter.
Gardner Minshew put on a clinic. Obviously, it helps when Titans' passing defense isn't the best.
Yeah.
But 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, which is the big part. Obviously, he did fumble the football once, but we'll give you the pass with the performance he put on. Took deep shots, right? When's the last time?
Alec Pierce going.
Yeah. When's the last time you see Indianapolis Colts have 2 100-yard wide receivers in a game?
Bro,
it's been so long.
I'm so excited for A-Rich to come back with those deep shots to Alec Pierce, if that's
exactly
the case.
If this wakes him up, but like incredible performance by Gardner.
Before we continue, you good? No.
Yeah.
Before we continue on, speaking of Indianapolis, the city, Terry McLaurin, please come home. The man said he ran cardio. This is my honorable mention of a disappointment is Washington. Because how do you let your star number 1 receiver not get any targets? Eric Bieniemy, this is on you. Obviously, you got to figure out a way to get him going. All right? With that being said, Terry McLaurin, come home. I know Chris Ballard doesn't do these type of trades really. D-Buck was the only one I've seen like that. But, yeah. That's all I gotta say. Come home to Indy, not obviously Canada, but you could
come home to Indy.
Come home to Indy.
Like Indy's our home, eh?
India, so it's close enough.
India, Indianapolis.
Close enough, but no, genuinely. If Terry McLaurin comes with this team and you have like a 4-headed monster right now, Pierce might not end up signing long term because Pittman is playing like a wide receiver 1.
He is playing like a wide receiver 1.
And if you compare him with him and with
which is going to be the issue,
and Josh Downs,
which is going to be the issue. He's playing like a wide receiver 1 right now. And obviously, in hindsight, like he's not that top dog that we think he is, but he is a hell of a freaking player.
He'll be a 1A, 1B right there. That's good enough to win. Good to the thing.
Yeah, but then because of that reason, I don't think Ballard is going to really add anything there.
Yeah. Last thing before we go into the Thursday Night Football and then the next week's superlatives or this coming week's superlatives, we have another suspension in the league. I did not know this guy was a Colt or still on the roster. Al-Qadim Muhammad is also, with Grover Stewart coming back, decided to take turns and who never played, which is kind of funny. 6-game suspension for PED use for him as well. So his season is pretty much over.
It is over, yeah.
Yeah.
So
unless we make the playoffs.
It's still over. Unless we make it to the divisional. I think he's out for the first round wildcard game, yeah. But yeah, that's that. Let's go on to make our Thursday night.
Okay, Thursday Night Football, snooze fest. The team who allowed less than, like, the team does not score but also doesn't let the other team score is 0-4, which is the New England Patriots.
So basically he is trying to clear up and say that the Patriots allowed 10 or less points in 4 times this season. And they're 0-4. So that being
said, this game will be 7-0 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow. Yeah.
7-3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'll go 10-3. We'll go 10-3.
Okay.
Yeah,
just give them their streak.
We'll go 10-3. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go 10-3. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That's it. We're not gonna talk much about this game because it's too boring.
Yeah. Why is it Thursday night?
If there's a good news for sports fans in general, the in-season tournament will be on during this game.
Yes.
For the NBA.
Yeah. What's next? Game of the week or game to watch?
Collective game of the week. We did not prep this time because we just
collective game of the week was Sunday Night Football.
That is correct.
Eagles, Cowboys, a matchup for the division now.
Yes.
The division is on the stake.
And possible conference. So
and
the league
being played in Arlington, and honestly, Kellen Moore might be the issue.
Yeah. I mean, Eagles are underdogs in this game.
Yeah. Kellen Moore generally might be the issue because what Dak Prescott and the Cowboys have been doing recently, kind of, like, obviously we'll get on to this a little bit later, but
let's get to it right now.
Dak's in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Because I forgot to mention his name last time and we both did, so we messed up there because we mentioned Deron Bland being out of the deep boy conversation.
Yeah.
But no, Dak Prescott, a guy that you especially had very big question marks on.
Everyone did.
Yeah.
It's not just me, like a lot of people.
Between us.
Yeah.
Too. But he's playing like how he came into his rookie year and how, remember when he was supposed to get signed and we're like the Colts should trade for him at that time. Yeah. We're like, yeah, that's like Dak is in the MVP conversation.
You know how he's playing like right now? That's obviously rookie year, but like obviously remember when he had his leg break when everyone in that division was like 5-12 and Washington made it with Alex Smith? Well, he was doing those first 5 weeks or 4 weeks before he got obviously.
He was playing on the franchise tag.
He was incredible that year.
Yeah, he wasn't playing on the franchise tag. I remember.
Yeah, like those first 4 weeks or 5 weeks, I think he was the MVP of those first 5 weeks.
Yeah. He's entered the conversation now after a few questionable games beginning of the year, I think.
Obviously, the one against the Niners and then the Cardinals.
Yeah. But after that, yeah.
Other than like after the Niners.
So who is now in the race? Like officially.
I mean,
Tyreek Hill and Christian McCaffrey are in the race.
100%.
Brock Purdy is back in the race. Agree?
Yeah, Tyreek and CMC is ahead of him.
Okay. Then because of that, Tua's in the race.
Tyreek and CMC are still ahead of him.
I'm just saying they're in the race.
Yeah, but I'm just giving my little initial ranking.
Dak now is entered.
Dak is in there. Yeah, I'll give
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts.
He's.
I mean, he's still 9-2. He's still the best record.
10-2, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm honestly from how he performed this past weekend, I'm giving Tyreek the edge over him as well.
I'm begging for one of Tyreek or CMC to win it this year.
They have to, right?
If they're going QB, I'm picking Lamar Jackson.
It's bullshit.
No, I'm saying if they're going QB, I'm going Lamar Jackson because someone asked me in the TikTok comment, shout out to you. Yeah. I'm going to shout you out. I'll get your handle up in a second. But he asked us, technically I answered. Yeah, I don't know if you could read it and see if you agree with it.
Yeah.
But I said if it's a QB, I'm going Lamar. But this is the year for a non-QB to win. As much as I want to enter Myles Garrett in it, their team's not going to be good enough. So it's CMC or it's Tyreek Hill. And I think it's one of them should win it. And obviously you're leaning Tyreek Hill.
Especially if he gets the 2,000 yards or / breaks the record of Megatron. It's Tyreek Hill. He is your MVP right now. And CMC is second. That's the ranking right now, and that's what it should be.
Sorry. I just saw another possible matchup of the week. That's why.
Well, we went with the one that had a little bit more implications on it. And honestly, with the performance of these two teams this year, it doesn't deserve to be game of the week. But obviously, one of us will go talk about it. But yeah, no, we're finishing out this MVP conversation. Tyreek Hill is number 1, CMC is number 2, Dak Prescott's number 3 for me right now.
So you're saying Dak's the best QB right now?
Yeah, at this current moment, Dak is the best QB right now.
I'll give the slight edge to Lamar still. That's just me. But Dak's in it. Like he's definitely ahead of everybody else now. I still think him, Lamar, and Jalen are tight knit. I think like literally every week we've mentioned
that's probably gonna change again.
Yeah, because like Nick Shook said Patrick Mahomes, and at the time it made sense when we had Nick Shook on the pod.
He's fallen off.
And speaking of Patrick Mahomes on the TV, but shout out to Ode on TikTok on my power ranking. By the way, check those out on our YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram exclusively. He was asking who's your MVP. Gavin said should be Tyreek. And then I said it is tough from our BTR account. It is tough. If we're going from QB, I might go Lamar. You said Dak. But I would love to see Tyreek or CMC win this year. This is the year for a non-QB player to win it.
Okay, I'm gonna say this.
Comment down below what you guys think. Genuinely,
I'm gonna say this much right now. If Jalen Hurts balls out and destroys the Eagles and Dak plays like shit, this makes it more of a case for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, it's changing. The quarterback rankings are changing again.
How surprised would you be if Tua ends up getting it over Tyreek?
Bro, I'm sorry.
Because he just happens to be the QB.
Sorry, Tua. Tyreek made your season.
Yeah.
All right.
As good as you were too.
As good as you are, because like you can't overthrow him. He's gonna get there, right?
Because Tyreek said he messed up a route and he gave credit to Tua for putting it at the right spot for him to get to it still. Yeah. But that's Tyreek just being a good teammate.
I'm sorry, like especially if that happens, it's gonna change. If another quarterback change happens in the rankings, right? Because right now, Dak Prescott is the best.
We should look at Nick Shook's latest rankings.
Yeah, but right now, like recent performance, Dak Prescott is number 1.
Yeah.
Right. You could agree with that. You could probably give it Lamar a little edge there.
I'm giving Lamar the edge.
But he's top 2.
Yeah.
Right. And that's for sure. So if that changes again this weekend with him putting on a dud performance,
we'll see. Because
honestly, could likely happen.
When we go to upset, you'll find out what my upset alert is. But I'll save it and you'll hear what I say. And I have to agree with you.
Because of that, we'll move on. Game of the week, game to watch. I'm gonna just I'll let you. You want to pick the easy one? Should I pick the easy one? Or do you have one?
I don't have one.
All right, then you could go with the easy one while I pick.
Sure. I mean, yes, Chiefs, Bills. Bills obviously fighting their way for a playoff spot. I think they'll make it. Still, Chiefs obviously coming off now 2 losses in a row.
Was it 2?
Eagles.
Yeah.
Either way, their performances have not been great. Whether they have been win or losses, minus like 2 of them.
No, I think they had a Raiders in between.
Oh yeah, so minus Chargers.
2 of their last 3s.
Yeah, so. Right. 2 of their last 3. They've beaten some good teams, but not really.
No,
they beat the Dolphins.
Okay, yeah, Dolphins.
That's
and they tried to lose that game as well.
Yeah, so they had to prove it. Bills had your number in the regular season the last couple of years. You also got to put, if you want to be considered the bye team and give yourself more prep time because you guys kind of need it. Yeah, we'll see. Your defense is good enough to make Josh Allen throw picks, and on the flip side, their defense is good enough to mess up whatever plan they have with their offense. Yeah, how much is struggling.
I'm gonna go with just a game to watch. I'm not saying this is gonna be but I just feel like this has a chance to become a shootout, but obviously it might not at the same time. The Rams Ravens.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Right, like the way the Rams been playing recently, obviously, especially offensively.
Okay, wait.
Well.
Okay, I want to cut you off because it just popped up on TV. Aren't we 6th or are we 7th?
We're 7th.
Yesterday, someone said we're officially 6th.
They're wrong.
By us, I mean Indy.
They're 7th.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify that.
Rams and Ravens. The way the Rams have been playing recently, obviously, they could cook offensively, right? Especially with Puka Nacua, who's I think 3rd rookie of all time to have 3 150-yard games. And then obviously with Cooper Kupp, obviously, who hasn't been himself this year after his initial 2 games. But they can still cook offensively, and they've been cooking. And the Ravens, obviously, we already know the Ravens. They look like they're the most complete team in the AFC. So there could be a good middle matchup there as well. And both defenses are still decent. Obviously, Ravens are still better. Don't get me wrong, they're the better football team. But I just feel like this could be one of those games where it's not going to be an easy win for them. So this is where an underdog team like the Rams could potentially win.
Yeah. What's next?
Players to watch. I'm
sticking with that same matchup, but you go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the battle of backup QBs, Browns and Jaguars, right?
Joe Flacco
looked good. He had genuinely looked good.
Yeah.
Right? And then obviously CJ Beathard when he came on was
hopefully
decent.
Nathan Rourke gets an opportunity. I'm not hoping for injury.
Yeah. But no, Joe Flacco, he genuinely looked like he could throw the ball 90 yards.
Yeah.
Right? So honestly, that scoreline was a little bit skewed because of the late turnovers, of the fourth down attempts that failed. So obviously added more to the Rams score. But I was so confused why Joe Flacco was starting when you're winning games with PJ Walker. But I could understand why.
Okay. For me, I said that same matchup: Aaron Donald versus Lamar Jackson.
You're running around chasing Lamar.
Yeah, it's simple as that. I just want that's the obvious pick for me. Yeah, nothing much to say. It's just can Aaron Donald chase him down?
Yeah. All right. Last one. Upset alert.
That's also my upset alert.
Okay.
Baltimore's an upset alert. That's why. So your point, it could be potential Dak MVP for me, QB wise, after this year. I looked at this. I don't know. I picked obviously Baltimore to still win, but Rams are in a playoff spot and they need to win. So I feel like it's gonna be a close game. Ravens want the number 1 seed, so I ended up going with that. You go with yours.
Okay, this team has given me no incentive to pick them to win, but the team they're versing honestly has been so atrocious that they might win, and I'm going with the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Right. The Saints are just such an ugly football team.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas
I think Jameis might be starting.
Yeah, honestly, they might look better with Jameis.
Yeah.
Because like Jameis actually like attempts more yards per throw, so you have that there. But the Carolina Panthers, honestly, I will not be surprised if the Panthers win this week. I'm just gonna say that. I'm picking the Saints, but if the Panthers win,
yeah, it's tough. This week
I'm telling you right now, do not be surprised.
This week was tough for like which pick to make for upset. Really, if you wanted.
Yeah, because Arizona's on a bye.
Good thing we don't bet.
Arizona's on a bye, so it kind of makes it more difficult.
There's a bye?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Washington, Arizona. Okay. Last thing, Jets are going back with Zach Wilson after releasing Tim Boyle. Zach Wilson pretty did not want to go in, apparently. But
there's all reports on all that stuff.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But last thing, make sure, thank you for the support on the clip we dropped on the FSU and the college football. We're going back to college football. There's no games this weekend. I believe it's January 1st is the college playoff semifinals.
Yeah.
So it's actually a while away.
Yeah, like
that's crazy.
Weeks,
I thought it was like 1 week off and then it comes into it.
It's like
I forget. No, I remember it's usually New Year's.
It's like 3 weeks usually.
Yeah. But let's get to the Heisman. Who was your Heisman favorite that you said on Sunday or Monday's pod?
Oh, Jordan Travis, but I already know what's gonna happen there.
He's not even a finalist.
Well, technically not favorite, but I'm just like trying to make a point of SFU.
No, like
my genuine favorite was Penix or someone like that.
Just to clarify, now that I know some facts after listening to ESPN clips, like first of all, me and you, we agree exactly with what Booger McFarland said, because even though it's like the example they used was, it's like, oh, for the NFL season, just pick the 4 best teams from the beginning of the year. So what's the point of playing?
What's the point? Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, what the hell did Florida State do to not win, to not make it?
We're not gonna go too much into that part, but like they did confirm that they look at the roster.
So it's basically like, if you're gonna pick like 2 teams from the AFC, you're probably gonna pick like the Chiefs and the Bills.
Beginning of the year, yes.
Yes. But what, are you gonna just neglect what the Ravens are doing?
Yeah.
You're gonna neglect what the Dolphins are doing? So that's the same situation here. Yes, the Chiefs and Bills are better on paper, and they might give you a better showcase like they did in that playoff game a couple of years ago, right? Something like Alabama, Michigan give you that spectacle, right? But deservingness does matter, right?
Yeah.
Who is deserving?
You also
I get you want the best teams in.
They are this year.
And honestly, yeah, you picked on that and you did that, right? But the question is, what's the point of having a season if you're going to pick those 4 teams?
Is to be objective and not subjective.
Yes.
Right? The point of sports is like what you want to see NBA, you want to see, if that was the case, then it should be Boston, Milwaukee, Suns. Like,
don't even play the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Go straight to the conference semifinals.
Yeah, it's like you play 82 games just to do that, right? Like, and just to see if it lives up to it. FSU, obviously people thought Texas should not have been in. Bama maybe should have been in, but or vice versa. Like Booker thought Bama should be out because of that. But anyways, it's because if that was the case, if you're looking at ranking or whatever the case is, how is Georgia behind FSU then? If that's what they're going, I'm going by their logic, right? But based on our logic, it makes sense. FSU is
because Georgia the record.
But that's my point though. FSU still missed. So how is Georgia, if you're considering Bama to be a better team than FSU this year, how is Georgia behind FSU? Because I could argue Georgia's a better team. They just happen to have the 1 loss, but they're a better team. Right? Yeah. They put FSU 5. Like, I know your point. I agree with that. I'm saying but using their logic. And the fact that you confirmed that you look at roster and you made it a quarterback thing, to Jovin's point, it should be Heisman winner Jordan Travis. But you also you took away the opportunity for Mike Norvell and that defense to play the games of their life and coach a game. And
they've been cooking the last
Yeah, it might be against Michigan, but who cares?
It's been good coaching.
Michigan lost to TCU last year, so you remember.
Yeah, so it's been good coaching and good defense for Florida State, and they've been proving that. But let's go back on to topic of the Heisman winners.
Yeah, no, we just wanted to close that chapter there. And it sucks, but yeah.
Yeah, so Jordan Travis is not in the conversation, but who is?
So the 3 quarterbacks, 1 wide receiver. Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr., LSU, who's the betting favorite right now, LSU passer Jaden Daniels, Oregon signal caller Bo Nix, and Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, obviously, I know where Jovin's bias lands because he's a wide receiver guy.
Yes. Initially, during mid-season, I was gonna say Penix was my lock, but obviously From the point I said that, he hasn't been playing up to the same level.
Bo Nix was way better
in the first half of the season. Where what Penix was doing, because honestly, ever since the first Oregon win, he hasn't been the same.
I didn't watch a single LSU game this year, so I can't comment on Jaden Daniels.
But
apparently, I've been seeing stats that are insane.
But I saw Penix play. Like when I saw Penix play, I was like, "Yo, this guy's a real deal." But obviously, after the Oregon game, he hasn't been the same. And then, I'm going with Marvin Harrison Jr. just because
he's a wide receiver.
He's a wide receiver, and honestly, what he's been doing, it sucks that we can't see him in the playoff. It genuinely does. And
if Ohio State won that game, Marv probably should have gone it.
Yeah, that is true. And then because it really does suck for Marv, because last year he got injured in the semifinal against Georgia as well.
Yeah.
So like we really missed out of like him playing that big game.
And CJ Stroud masterclass.
Yeah, without Marvin here.
Yeah, I can't make a prediction fully because if you're going with based on the players I've seen, it's probably Bo Nix. But Jaden Daniels apparently I'll say the stats because they actually have it here. Key stats: Jaden Daniels has 72.2% completion percentage.
Wow.
3,812 passing yards, 40 touchdowns. Okay, he's a senior, top of the country and all that. He also led the Tigers with rushing at 1,134 yards. So I think based on those numbers,
it is.
Even though their record, it's college football and screw the committee and what they're doing.
I guess it doesn't.
Because even next year the rankings are gonna be annoying. Like, why is this guy 5 and this guy 7? They could screw them over.
Records don't matter.
Michael Penix Jr. 65.9%, 4,218. So he had more passing yards, but 33 touchdowns.
You don't have to say the other stats. It's Jaden Daniels.
No, because Bo Nix had 77.2%. Completion percentage.
Okay, yeah, but like it's not okay. Completion percentage is not going to change anything. It's the yards.
4,145 yards.
Passing yards, yeah.
40 touchdowns. So he actually on the passing side had better numbers than Jaden Daniels.
But rushing side
and better record there. Obviously, rushing is still going to be Jaden Daniels.
I think it's between Nix and Daniels. Obviously.
And then Marv had 67 receptions, 1,211 receiving yards, and 14 tutties.
I think it's Nix and Daniels for the 1 and 2 spot. And then I
think the rushing will put Jaden Daniels over.
And then I'll go
because you didn't react. You're like, what? Okay.
I'll rank Marv at 3 and then probably go Penix at 4.
Yeah.
But I think
Jordan Travis, you got robbed.
You got robbed.
Based on the committee, you got robbed.
Yeah, the committee. Does the committee determine Heisman?
I don't know, but they got robbed.
Yeah, the committee is false.
Either way, he got robbed because their reasoning was Jordan Travis ain't playing. So,
you got robbed.
But no, realistically though, yeah, I think Jaden Daniels, based on the stats I've seen, is gonna win it because of the rushing yards there. But let's call it there. Before we close it off, once again, a reminder: the food drive, the BAM food drive through the Brandon Bossy Foundation. It's in Surrey, BC, Newton Athletic Park. You guys could Google it. Surrey knows where Newton Park is in general, but if you're in the area or you want to drop off some food, you could also, but you're not able to make it, you could DM us. You could contact Derek through his Instagram. Again, everything will be the top link down below, so that's, just remember that everything's the top. And just to come support, help the community out. North Delta secondary school kids are doing a great job with the Brandon All-Star mentorship program they're doing. They just brought in some kids from the local elementary school and to maybe get like what high school feeling would look like. So if you guys are not able to make it but would like to help in any way possible, you could donate on the GoFundMe page at the Brandon Bossy Brandon Bossy Foundation. Jovan will link that when he edits this down below. And other than that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow all our socials for any updates or all our TikToks and all that stuff. Make sure you guys download the podcast on audio platforms and give it a rate out of 5 stars, I believe, and a review. And other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.